Here's a number nobody talks about: $800. That's what the average American household spends every single year just to heat water. Not to cook with it, not to drink it, just to make it warm enough to shower, do dishes, and run a load of laundry. You don't see it as one bill. It's quietly folded into your monthly utility statement. A line item so unremarkable you've probably never questioned it. But over a decade? That's $8,000 gone from your household, straight into the pockets of energy companies. Call it what it is: an invisible tax, not voted on, not negotiated, just quietly collected month after month, year after year. You've been paying $800 a year for something that was essentially solved 50 years ago. You just weren't told. Now look at this. This is a piece of PEX pipe. You can find it at any hardware store right now for about $10. It's flexible, durable, rated for high temperatures, and it's the core component of a solar water heating system that anyone, and I mean anyone, can build over a weekend. A $10 pipe versus an $800 a year habit. And here's the part that should make you angry. The $3 billion solar water heating industry, the one selling you panels and systems at thousands of dollars, doesn't want you thinking too hard about that $10 pipe. Because the moment you do, you start asking the wrong questions, the kind of questions they can't answer. Let's go back to 1974. The oil embargo has just rattled the Western world. Gas lines stretch around city blocks. Energy anxiety is at a peak not unlike what we feel today. In Atascadero, California, a man named Harold Hay decided he wasn't going to wait for politicians or corporations to fix his energy bill. He ran a length of black plastic pipe across his roof, simple, cheap, unglamorous, and connected it to his home's water supply. The result? Water heated to 160 degrees from sunlight, from a pipe you could buy at a hardware store. No exotic materials, no PhD required, no monthly subscription. It worked. Completely. Undeniably. 1974. Harold Hay, Atascadero, CA. Black plastic pipe on a rooftop, produces 160 degrees water using nothing but sunlight. The first recorded modern DIY solar water heater works exactly as hoped. 76 Cal Poly University study. Researchers formalize what Hay proved. Their tests confirm the system can produce enough hot water for a full shower in just 45 minutes of sun exposure. The paper is published. The data is real. The technology is validated. Today, the average household still pays $800 a year to heat water. Most people have never heard of Harold Hay. The Cal Poly study sits in an archive. Think about that timeline for a second. Cal Poly's researchers weren't working with guesses or theoretical models. They were measuring real water temperature, real shower readiness, real results, in 45 minutes with equipment anyone could afford. That was 1976, nearly half a century ago. And the technology hasn't gotten more complicated since then. If anything, the materials have gotten cheaper and better. So, why doesn't anyone know about this? If Harold Hay's rooftop pipe worked in 1974, if Cal Poly's researchers confirmed it in 1976, if the physics hasn't changed and the materials have only gotten cheaper, why is your water heater still running on gas or electricity in 2024? Why isn't this in every home improvement book? Why isn't your contractor mentioning it? Why is the solar industry selling you a $15,000 rooftop installation when Harold Hay solved the hot water problem with hardware store parts? That's not a rhetorical question. There's a real answer, and it has everything to do with who profits from you not knowing. In the next part, we're going to show you exactly how this system works, the physics, the build, the math, so you can decide for yourself whether $800 a year is a price worth paying for ignorance. Let's talk about the solar water heating industry for a moment, specifically the part they don't put in their brochures. It's a $3 billion industry. The average installed system costs between $3,000 and $8,000. Sales reps will tell you it pays for itself in 7 to 10 years. The financing options are generous. The warranty paperwork is thick. What they won't tell you is why none of that complexity is actually necessary to heat your water with sunlight. Here's the core problem. For them, not for you. You cannot patent a coil of pipe on a roof. The physics of a black surface absorbing heat is not proprietary. Nobody owns sunlight. There's no software subscription for gravity-fed water flow. And if your system is a $15 coil of pipe, there are no annual service contracts to sell you, no certified technician call-outs, no replacement parts at a 400% markup. The moment a technology becomes simple enough for anyone to build, it stops being a product. And that's the one thing an industry cannot survive. So the industry didn't kill the technology. It did something smarter. It complicated it. Glazed collectors, differential controllers, glycol loops, pressure vessels. Each addition is genuinely useful at the margins, but each one also raises the cost, raises the perceived expertise required, and most importantly, raises the barrier between you and the solution. Glazed flat plate collectors, differential temperature controllers, certified engineer sign-off, anti-freeze glycol loop systems, pressure relief valves and manifolds, $3,000, $8,000 installed cost. What Harold Hay used: black plastic pipe, gravity, sunlight, roof space, a weekend afternoon, $15 in materials. In many U.S. states today, connecting any rooftop water heating system to your home's plumbing requires a licensed plumber, a building permit, and in some jurisdictions, sign-off from a certified solar thermal installer, a credential that costs thousands of dollars to earn and conveniently creates a guild of professionals whose livelihoods depend on the system staying complicated. The technology is 50 years old. The regulation is newer. Ask yourself, which one is protecting you and which one is protecting someone else's revenue? In 2008, the Florida Solar Energy Center ran a rigorous 90-day field study on unglazed solar water heating systems, the low-tech kind, the pipe-on-roof kind. Florida was chosen deliberately. It has significant cloud cover, high humidity, and seasonal variation. If skeptics wanted worst-case conditions, Florida in a mixed-weather year was a fair test. The results were definitive. Florida Solar Energy Center. 90-day study results, 90-degree. Minimum output on overcast days, 90 consecutive days of testing. 140 DGF plus peak output on clear days. Even on overcast days, when solar critics always point and say, but what about clouds? The system maintained 90-degree water temperature. That's above the threshold for comfortable showering, above the threshold for effective dishwashing, and well above what a cold water tap delivers in winter. On clear days, temperatures exceeded 140 degrees, hot enough to scald, which actually means you'd be mixing it with cold water to get it usable. That's not a flaw. That's abundance. The study didn't use exotic equipment. The findings weren't buried. They were published. And then, like the Cal Poly study before it, largely ignored by everyone with a financial interest in the alternative. Let's run the numbers honestly. No best-case assumptions, no cherry-picked scenarios. Just the arithmetic of what this technology actually costs versus what it saves. Upfront cost of a DIY pipe system, $15 average annual household water heating cost, $800 system lifespan, conservative estimate, 20 Boscars solar contribution, conservative, 70% offset. 70% annual savings at 70% offset $560. Total savings over 20 years, $11,200. And that's the conservative version. If your system runs at 80% efficiency in a sun-rich climate, which Florida, California, Texas, and Arizona homeowners can realistically expect, the 20-year savings climb closer to $12,800. Add energy price inflation at even 3% annually, and that number pushes past $16,000. The payback period on a $15 investment? Roughly 10 days. That's not a typo. 10 days of avoided utility costs, and the pipe has paid for itself. Everything after that is pure return. Compare that to the industry-standard solar thermal system. $5,000 installed, 7 to 10-year payback, service contract recommended, certified technician for any repair. The math still works, eventually. But the gap between $15 and $5,000 isn't engineering, it's margin. Some people hear plastic pipe on a roof and assume it's a crude approximation of real solar technology. It isn't. It's a direct application of two well-understood physical principles that no amount of expensive engineering can improve upon in a meaningful way. 185 degrees Celsius maximum temperature rating for standard PEX-B pipe. Well above any temperature solar exposure will produce in a residential setting 95% solar energy absorbed by a matte black surface, compared to roughly 10–15% reflected by a white or metallic surface. The black color isn't aesthetic, it's thermodynamic. A matte black surface absorbs up to 95% of incoming solar radiation across the full visible and infrared spectrum. Aluminum and copper collectors used in commercial panels achieve roughly the same absorption, but through expensive selective coatings applied in controlled manufacturing environments. Black PEX pipe achieves the same result at the material level, by nature of its pigmentation. You're not cutting corners, you're using the right material for the job, and the job is absorbing sunlight and transferring that heat to water moving through the pipe. PEX's flexibility also matters. Unlike rigid copper, it won't crack under thermal cycling, the repeated expansion and contraction that happens as a rooftop system heats during the day and cools at night. That's not a compromise. That's an advantage. Forget the brochures, forget the certified installers, forget the financing options and the 10-year warranties on equipment that shouldn't cost more than a grocery run. Here is the complete materials list for a functional solar water heating system, the same fundamental technology that Harold Hay used in 1974 and Cal Poly validated in 1976. 100 FT PEX-B pipe, 1.2-inch diameter, black or painted black, $10 flat black spray paint, matte, heat-rated $4 zip ties, pack of 50, UV resistant. $3 SharkBite push-fit connectors. 2. No soldering needed $8 wire or zip tie mounting frame. Optional from scrap. $25, that's it. That is the entire bill of materials for a system that will heat your water using sunlight for the next several decades. Everything listed above is available at any Home Depot, Lowe's, or local hardware store today. No special orders. No online-only components. No specialist knowledge to purchase. Coil the pipe into a spiral. Take your 100-foot length of PEX-B pipe and coil it into a flat spiral approximately 3 feet in diameter. PEX is flexible enough to do this by hand. No heat gun. No pipe bender needed. The coil shape maximizes surface area while keeping the footprint manageable. Secure the coil loosely with a few zip ties as you go to hold its shape. Apply the stealth modification, flat black paint. This is the step that turns a plumbing part into a solar collector. Lay your coil flat on cardboard and apply 2 even coats of matte flat black spray paint, heat-rated if possible. Allow to dry completely between coats. The black surface will now absorb up to 95% of solar radiation instead of reflecting it. This single step is responsible for the majority of the system's performance. Do not skip it. Do not use gloss paint. Matte absorbs, gloss reflects. Mount on south-facing roof at 30–45 degrees. Orientation matters more than people expect. A south-facing surface tilted between 30 and 45 degrees from horizontal captures the maximum amount of sunlight year-round in the northern hemisphere. If your roof pitch already falls in this range, you're done. Lay the coil flat against the roof surface and secure it with UV resistant. Zip ties through any existing vent holes or under shingles. The coil doesn't need to be rigid, it just needs to stay put. Connect with SharkBite push-fit fittings, no soldering. This is where most people expect complexity. There isn't any. SharkBite push-fit connectors require no soldering, no flux, no torch, no plumber. You push the fitting onto the pipe end until it clicks. That's a watertight connection, rated for both hot and cold water, approved for use inside walls. Connect your coil's inlet to the cold water supply and the outlet to your existing water heater's cold inlet. The heater now receives pre-warmed water instead of cold, doing a fraction of the work it used to. Test, adjust, and walk away. Turn the water on slowly. Check all connections for drips. There shouldn't be any with SharkBite fittings, but verify anyway. Let the system run for 1 full sunny day before measuring output temperature. On a clear day, expect 120, 140-degree current from the coil outlet. You're done. There is no step 6. There is no annual service. There is no app. 50 YR's rated lifespan of PEX B pipe under normal conditions. $30 estimated total maintenance cost across the system's lifetime. Row, moving parts, pumps, controllers, or sensors in the system. PEX B pipe, the same material used inside the walls of modern homes, carries a manufacturer rating of 50 years under normal operating conditions. Solar exposure, thermal cycling, UV radiation. PEX handles all of it. The paint may need a touch-up coat in 15 to 20 years. That's your maintenance schedule. There are no pumps to service, no differential controllers to replace, no glycol to flush and refill, no electrical components to troubleshoot. The system has exactly 0 moving parts. Water flows through it by pressure. Heat transfers by physics. Gravity does the rest. The $30 lifetime maintenance estimate accounts for 1 can of touch-up spray paint over the system's life. That's a generous estimate. You may never need it. The most reliable machine is the one with the fewest parts. This system has none. That's not a limitation. That's the design. Hot water is just the beginning. Once you start thinking about your home as a system to optimize rather than a utility bill to accept, the possibilities compound fast. There's a set of techniques, call it a forbidden house vault, that the insulation industry, the HVAC industry, and the window replacement industry actively have no interest in popularizing, because each one eliminates a service call or a product sale. What $3 and $8 can do that, a $40,000 renovation can't. 3D foam backer rod insulation hack, the same material used to fill expansion gaps seals drafty window and door frames. Installers don't mention it because it eliminates the need for professional weather stripping replacement. 1 roll, 1 afternoon, measurable difference on your heating bill. $8 window insulation film, applied directly to existing glass. This low emissivity film blocks up to 80% of solar heat gain in summer, while retaining interior heat in winter. Window replacement companies charge $400, $800 per window to achieve the same result with new double-pane glass. The film takes 15 minutes per window. 0 thermal mass positioning, rearranging dark-colored furniture and objects near south-facing windows, creates natural heat storage that releases slowly after sunset. No product required. Pure physics, used in passive solar architecture for centuries and completely absent from any contractor's conversation with you. Each of these techniques shares one characteristic with the pipe on your roof. They are too simple to monetize at scale, and so they don't get mentioned. They don't get ads. They don't get a section in the home improvement store. They live in university extension publications and old Mother Earth news archives, exactly where the industry prefers them. Here's the final message, and it's the one that matters most. When you coil that pipe, when you paint it black, when you mount it on your roof and watch your water heater do less work for the first time in years, you are not just saving money. You are casting a vote against a system designed to keep you dependent. You are proving, in the most concrete way possible, that the complicated version was never necessary. You are doing what Harold Hay did in 1974, what Cal Poly confirmed in 1976, and what the Florida Solar Energy Center documented in 2008. You are proving that the solution was always simple, that it was always affordable, that it was always yours to build. The industry spent 50 years hoping you wouldn't figure that out. You just did.